welcome back. It is Wednesday, April 22nd. We're back in the man cave. A little bit of a different look today. No suit, no tie. So here's the deal. Last night I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and I already missed sports, but it made me miss sports so much more. So my vow to you is until sports come back, I'm going to wear a different jersey every single video. Different one. And I'm not going to run out. I've got way too many. But I'm rocking the Colts Darius Leonard jersey today. And we'll switch it up. And like I said, I'm doing it until sports comes back. And hopefully that happens soon. So you have had 2 opportunities this week to do your Fantastic Five. Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully if you have any questions, the video's helping. Or maybe even if you're already doing well and you're still watching the videos, you're kind of finding different strategies on how to solve these. But we'll go ahead and get into it. That way you can go ahead and do Wednesday's Fantastic Five. And as always, hopefully we're continuing to climb to try to get up to that 5. So we're going to get right into it here. Going over Tuesdays. Number 1 says, the checkerboard is 8 inches long and 12 inches wide. Each space is 1 square foot. If I wanted to cover each space with pennies, how many pennies would I need? So there's a few keywords in here that kind of puts you down the right path. Now, obviously, you did not get a picture. The first thing you should have done would have been to draw a picture. Once you drew it, you could label the sides 8 and 12. And then the words that stick out to me are each, which, again, we've talked about can make you multiply or divide. Square feet always makes me think area, and we find the area by doing length times width, so that kind of goes with each. But there's another word in there that I'm hoping you caught as well, which is cover, because if you were going to cover something or fill it, again, that would lead you towards area. So I'm going to pull up the whiteboard, and the first thing we'll do is, like I said, we're going to draw that picture. There is my checkerboard, and it said 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, something like that, but I'd go ahead and label the sides. And if you wanted to go ahead and label the opposite sides, that is something you could definitely do. But square feet, area, so we would go ahead and do length times width. And if you did 8 times 12, that would give you an area of 96 square feet. So the question said, if I want to put a penny for each square foot, how many pennies would I need? This one is actually a little bit less challenging than yesterday, because if I have 96 square feet, that would just mean that I need 96 pennies, which would have given you C right here. So the things that I would be looking for there, if you had this paper sitting in front of you, I would look that you had those words underlined, highlighted, circled, something. I would definitely be looking for a picture, and then hopefully you were doing your area instead of your perimeter. So very similar to yesterday's question. Again, a little bit easier tomorrow, or I guess today on Wednesday's Fan 5, it'll be a little bit more challenging than yesterday's. All right, we are moving on to number 2, which is kind of similar to number 1. It says the distance around the rectangular parking lot, that's important, is 150 feet. If the parking lot is 44 feet long, how wide is it? Back to the whiteboard. Clear this puppy out. Boom. All right. First thing again, you need to draw that picture. There is my rectangular parking lot. And guys, when it says distance around, you're going around the outside, that's a perimeter. So it told me the perimeter is 150 feet. And I know I'm putting that on the inside, but that's just kind of how I'm labeling it. All right, now I'm just going to use the information that the problem gave me. If it says it's 44 feet long, I got 2 sides that I can label right there. We're trying to figure out how wide it is. In order to do that, all you have to do is use what you have been given. I know the total is 150. Let's go ahead and take what we have and get rid of it. So you can either do 150 minus 44 or minus 44. You could add those together, then subtract, which is probably what I will do. It's a little bit quicker for me, but you've got options here. So what I would do is let me add up what I already have, my 2 lengths 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 again is 8. That means I have a total of 88 feet. To figure out what's left, I got to subtract. Erase this. All right, so here's my total 150-foot perimeter. I'm going to take away what I already have to see what's left. Starting in the ones place, you got more on the floor, so you got to go next door and get 10 more. This 5 changes to a 4. This 0 is now a 10. Now I can subtract in the ones place. 10 minus 8 is 2. Then I move over to the tens place. You cannot do 4 minus 8. Again, more on the floor, go next door. This 1 is now a 0. This 4 becomes 14, which allows me to subtract in the tens place. 14 minus 8 would give me 6. All right, 62 is an answer choice, and I'm willing to bet that 62 will get picked by a lot of students. But guys, just like I said in the previous video, a teacher can tell on this problem if you checked your work. Because if you said the answer was 62, I know you didn't check it. I know you didn't do 44 plus 44 plus 62 plus 62 because it's not going to add up to 150. When you get that 62, you've got to realize you've got 2 sides left that you have to cover. You've got to take those 62 feet and you've got to split it between those 2 equal sides. So I would take 62, maybe, divided by 2. All right. Now we've done long division almost in every single week of FAM5 since we've been doing virtual learning, but you should know that 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 times 3 gives you 6, and 6 minus 6 gives you 0. That makes you bring down the 2. And then you just start over. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 times that 1 is 2. And 2 minus 2 is 0. No remainder, meaning it is 31 feet wide. And if you were really giving EOG effort, you would have done 44 plus 44 plus 31 plus 31, and that would have added up to give you 150. So that's one right there where if you just check your answer, you're going to get it right. Honestly, you could avoid all that subtraction and division, and you could just plug in your answer choices. I think that's a little bit, it takes a little bit longer, but it's an option. You get it right every time as long as you're doing the math correctly. So for number 2, make sure you're checking that work, because, you know, a teacher can tell. All right, moving on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be the one all week that, to me, is going to be the least challenging because all you got to do is memorize those notes if you took them. And I might have even answered this question in yesterday's video. It says, which shape below has 1 pair of parallel sides? All right, well, you could just know this definition or you could eliminate answers. A rhombus. I know that a rhombus has 2 sides or 2 pairs of parallel sides. Same for a square, same for a rectangle. Okay, that trapezoid's that lonely quadrilateral for a reason. It only has 1 pair of parallel sides, which will make that answer D. So, and guys, it doesn't even, there's not really much more I can say about that. You've just got to know the attributes of these shapes. You know A, B, and C are parallelograms, which means they have 2 pairs of parallel sides. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral, but not a parallelogram. All right, moving on to number 4. This is where the example of how it depends on how you read this question, whether or not you're going to get it right. One little word can really change how this question goes. It says, how many ribbons were 6 inches or longer? That doesn't mean longer than 6 inches. Okay, that means you have to include 6 inches, 6 inches or longer. That's like if you go to an amusement park and they got the little signs before the roller coaster. It says you must be 60 inches or taller to ride the roller coaster. That means if you're 60 inches, you're good. Like you don't have to be 61. If it says 60 inches or taller, then you would go. So if it's asking how many ribbons were 6 inches or longer, I'm going to start at the 6. And I'm going to count everything over to the right. So 6 right here, we're going to start. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, which would have given you C. Now, those to me are the easy questions where it might be easy, but it's also easy to make a mistake. So I would just count one more time because it's not going to take me long. So for 6, again, 6 inches or longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So double check, didn't take me long, but C would have been your answer for that one. Read those carefully. My favorite question on here, it will be my favorite question all week. It forces you to read. It forces you to think. It says Food Lion has 256 rolls of toilet paper. They're going to be organized into packs of 4. If they sell 33 of the packs of toilet paper, how many rolls are left? So packs and rolls, they are different. You've got to know the difference between those. Now, if I had 256 rolls and I was going to put them into packs of 4, I'm going to put them into equal groups of 4. Guys, you got to divide. All right, so I'll put my little steps over here. Start with our division. We know 4 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 25. Okay, so you got to know your facts, get as close as you can. It can go in 6 times because 4 times 6 gets me all the way to 24. All right, then I would subtract. 25 minus 24 is just going to leave me with 1. And then I would bring down my 6. Start all over. Again, if you know your facts, this becomes a little bit easier. 4 can go into 16 4 times. 4 times 4 gave me 16. And 16 minus 16 leaves me with 0. So no remainder, I'm good. That 64 is important because you have to know what it represents. Is that 64 rolls or is that 64 packs? Well, the question said I was putting these rolls into packs of 4. That means I've got 64 packs right now. So I'd write 64 packs. All right. Next thing it tells us, it says it sold 33 packs. So I've got 64 packs. I'm getting rid of 33 packs. Let me subtract those real quick. 4 minus 3 is 1. 6 minus 3 is 3. That leaves me with 31 packs. Again, 31, an answer choice, and 31's probably getting picked, but guys, you've got to read the question. That represents packs. I want to know how many rolls are left. So now we're kind of moving backwards and using information that it gave us previously. If I've got 31 packs and there's 4 rolls in each of those, I then got to take that 31 and multiply it times 4. Because look, you don't want to draw 31 packs, 4, 4, 4, 4. That's repeated addition. Just stack them and multiply. So 4 times 1 in the ones place gives me 4. 4 times 3 going across gives me 12. So that would give me 124 rolls, which would give me the answer of D. So 31 was that answer choice that's probably getting picked. If you're choosing 64, that means you're just doing half the problem. So you got to keep reading, but that answer would have been D. So even though it's only the second day that you had done it, being Tuesday, I definitely think you should be getting in at least a 3, especially with the geometry question and the line plot question. Those are questions you should be getting correct. So I think this week, even though number 5 is a really tough question, I think a 5 is definitely doable. So hopefully this kind of helped you out. Hopefully it's got you prepared for Wednesday's Fantastic 5. Best of luck, and we will see you here tomorrow.